American Graduate Getting to Work is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
This is a production of PBS Charlotte.
Just ahead on Carolina Impact.
Welcome to the future of power generation. Here today, I'm Jeff Sonnier. Stick around, we'll bring you to Charlotte's newest and largest solar farm coming up.
One man's vision for horses is entirely transforming the economy and the culture of Western North Carolina. I'm Suzanne Stevens. We'll have that story coming up.
I'm Jason Terzis in Fort Mill, where Red Ventures is doing all it can to train the next generation of sales and tech professionals. We'll tell you all about the Road to Hire program coming up.
Plus, what's your favorite book? The Great American Read has us talking to folks about the 100 best-loved novels. Find out if yours made the list. A new season of Carolina Impact starts right now.
Carolina Impact, covering the issues, people, and places that impact you. This is Carolina Impact.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amy Burkett. Drive an hour from uptown Charlotte in any direction, and you'll find a working farm. As much as Charlotte is growing, Union County is home to the third highest number of farms in North Carolina, but not all farms are growing crops. In our Planet Carolina report, Jeff Sonnier shines the light on this. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, these farm fields outside of Monroe in Union County, there's a new cash crop in town. And it's a little different. There's no seed involved, no fertilizer involved, and especially it doesn't require rain because, you know, on a solar farm, the less rain, the better.
Sunrise, sunburn, sunset, repeat.
What used to be here?
This was a farm owned by a single landowner, and I think it was growing corn the last time we checked.
Yep, it used to be like every other Union County farm with these rows of tall corn before.
Sunburn, sunset, repeat.
But not anymore.
Sunrise, sunburn, sunset, repeat. Hey.
Now, alongside the cornfields and soybean fields and cattle grazing in the grass are fields of glass, 600,000 solar panels, producing enough power for 10,000 homes for a whole year, all from this one farm, all from the sun.
It took about 8 to 10 months to build. It's on 400 acres here in Union County. Generates 60 megawatts of electricity. So as solar farms go, it's one of the biggest, probably one of the top 5 in the state.
Sunrise, sunburn, sunset, repeat.
Joe Griffin's actually okay with his new solar next-door neighbors. Since the 70s, Joe's been riding his old tractor here on the same 10 acres. His home now surrounded by Duke Energy's 400 acres. But on this day, every day really, all Joe sees is an occasional Duke pickup truck, and the glass, and the guy who mows the grass between the glass.
Maybe there was more land available down this area, I'm not sure.
And Jimmy Starnes, who's putting out fresh melons here at the local farmer's produce stand down the road.
Yes, all locally grown right here, probably within a 25-mile radius.
He says the Duke Solar Farm isn't the only solar farm nearby.
There's one on Newtown Road, that's the next highway over. There's one straight down Waxhaw Highway right there. They're popping up everywhere.
Union County or Rutherford County or Gaston County or Cleveland County, those counties surrounding the Charlotte area would probably be good spots for solar facilities in the future.
The carts take the leaves to the farmyard where the women...
Duke Energy's also looking to the past for big solar sites in eastern North Carolina.
Tobacco is part of the North Carolina tradition.
Harvesting power on the same fields today where generations of farmers used to harvest tobacco.
You know, when you talk about solar in North Carolina, a lot of it's east of Raleigh or east of Fayetteville. I think you're going to see a lot more. I think when you look at Duke Energy over the next 15 years, we're going to build a lot more solar. We'll probably double what we have in the state now and keeping us a number 2 in the nation.
Sunrise, sunburn, sunset, repeat.
The one that's showing there now, it's in a desert area in Arizona.
Brandon Edmondson is in charge of Charlotte's Renewable Control Center, a high-tech, high-security operation that oversees almost 90 solar farms and other new energy sources, all on the grid, all over the country.
Yeah, so we have, most of our solar assets are located in California, North Carolina, Arizona, and Texas.
And no matter where it is, if something breaks on a solar farm, Edmondson says they can see it and fix it from here, or send a crew out to fix it from there. It's all about running at peak efficiency, although there is one solar farm problem the Charlotte Control Center can't fix.
You know, it'll dip down when the cloud cover comes over, so you can see that in real time. You know, we want to keep our availability up. We want these inverters and these turbines running at all times so that we can capture that free energy.
Utilities also see affordable solar as an energy solution that doesn't create the pollution that these older power plants do.
We've closed more than half and retired more than half of our coal fleet in North Carolina. People have become more conscious of their footprint and how they want to leave the planet. That's one reason we did get into renewable energy a dozen years ago. So by the time it becomes more and more mainstream, we've got the expertise to operate it and to have it flow seamlessly onto the grid.
Which brings us back to Union County and the one question we haven't answered yet. If solar power is good for the grid and good for power customers and good for the planet, are solar farms good for farmers?
We have prime growing conditions, weather-wise, soil type.
Andrew Baucom is the agricultural extension agent for Union County, and he says the big companies like Duke, looking for big farms, are actually paying more to lease the land for solar than most farmers could ever make farming.
Boy, it makes me wish I had some land.
Farming's a hard business.
Yeah, I mean, and you just sit back getting a check every month, I would definitely think about it.
Sunrise, sunburn, sunset, repeat.
Yeah, a little cloud cover right now, giving us a break from all that sunshine. By the way, if North Carolina's number 2 in solar power, who's number 1? Well, it's California, which has a lot more rooftop solar panels than we do here. Plus, it's 4 times bigger. Plus, of course, they've got a desert, a lot of desert. Amy?
Thanks so much, Jeff. Duke Energy's Monroe Solar Facility opened on South Rocky River Road in April last year. Duke touts it's not just the 60 megawatts of power it produces, but also the pollution it doesn't produce. It's like taking 11,000 vehicles off the roads. Pretty big impact. Well, talk about impact. Economic mobility remains our region's biggest issue. This is PBS Charlotte's second year focused on trying to help share career pathways that lead to better paying jobs. One major Charlotte tech company is looking to make a difference by paying high school graduates to train for careers in sales and technical fields, and they don't have to attend college to do so. As part of our American Graduate Getting to Work series, Carolina Impact's Jason Terzis tells us about Red Ventures' Road to Hire program.
Red Ventures. From the outside, it looks like a small college campus with buildings popping up all over the place. From the inside, it kind of feels like a college too, with an in-house bowling alley, basketball court, workout rooms, yoga classes. The list goes on. There's even a beer garden, if you can believe it.
This environment is amazing.
Red Ventures has ballooned in size, going from 450 employees in 2008 to now over 3,600 worldwide, with more than 2,000 at the main campus.
The company started out providing marketing solutions for major brands, and we've now become a portfolio of digital companies. But at the core of things, we are a technology and marketing company.
Having grown so big in such a short amount of time, Red Ventures wanted to do its part in giving back to the community. And what better way to do that than to help train the next generation of sales and tech professionals?
We pay, train, and place young adults, and we pay them the equivalent of $10 an hour.
It's called the Road to Hire program.
And people don't believe it's real.
It launched in 2016, with Red Ventures providing professional development, training, paying, and placing young adults in the 18 to 25 age range.
We see a pretty incredible spread of folks who just graduated from high school, all the way down to single parents, people who've been working in retail, restaurant.
Road to Hire isn't easy to get into. Only about 30% of applicants are accepted. College graduates are not eligible. Organizers are not looking for good grades on a transcript. They're looking for desire and motivation.
So why should we choose you
to be, a participant in Road to Hire. And so like I go into like this long list, like I'm motivated, I'm hardworking, like da-da-da-da.
LaShonda Elder found out about Road to Hire's tech program through a friend.
He was like telling me, he's like, yeah, they pay you and then they give you a job. And I was like, they pay you to teach you how to code?
LaShonda had started college, but as a single mom, juggling school, her son, and a bartending job was simply too much.
You don't really think about like how much like diapers cost and wipes cost and childcare.
She was accepted into the Road to Hire program while her mother watched after her son.
The program was really hard and I was missing my kid and I was working. It was just a lot. And so I wanted to quit.
Tempted to leave the program, LaShonda's father stepped in with some words of wisdom.
He was like, LaShonda, it's temporary. Like, if you quit, you're gonna go back to bartending. Then what? You can't bartend forever. Like, you don't have health insurance. Like, what are you gonna do?
She stuck with the program, graduated in 2016, and was hired by Red Ventures full-time as a front-end developer.
People have went to college for 4 years, they're in debt, and they do what I'm doing, and I went to a program for 4 months. I don't have any college debt.
The tech program teaches as many as 8 different computer programming languages over an intensive 6-month course.
There are about 17,000 missing tech jobs in the state of North Carolina. The median wage for a software engineer in North Carolina is $100,000 a year. And folks don't require a college degree.
Malik Robinson is another Road to Hire tech graduate. He didn't grow up with a ton of stability, at one point living with his mother at the Charlotte Women's Shelter. With minimal money for college, Malik was working as a hotel receptionist when he filled out a Road to Hire application.
Because I wanted them to know my story and I wanted them to know that I really felt like I deserved this.
He was able to survive the rigorous training program.
Very intense.
And ultimately land a full-time job with Red Ventures.
I know for a fact that if it wasn't for the program, I would not be where I am today or who I am today.
So Rose, whenever you're taking the first opportunity to meet with someone, what are some things you want to remember when getting prepared for that meeting?
Manny Foster teaches sales for Road to Hire.
Why should you include your takeaways from the meeting in your thank you note?
He can relate to a lot of the students he teaches.
My mom was 15 when she had me. My dad was 17. So having super young parents, there's a ton of financial adversities that you'll have to overcome.
He enjoys seeing his students, like Datavian Kennedy, learn and succeed.
Before Road to Hire, I was driving for Lyft and driving for Postmates.
So I love the fact that we get people in our class that are hungry, that are thirsty for professional development, that want to be able to establish a career.
Nah, I don't want to go back to that lifestyle where I have to continuously fight for the next dollar.
The Sales Academy isn't quite as long as the tech program, lasting 3 months, but still quite challenging.
We're trying to condense a college degree into this really tight window of time.
Over the 3 years of the program's existence, Road to Hire has trained over 300 students, with roughly 60% of the graduates going to work for Red Ventures. The others are helped with job placement services. Typical salary between tech and sales grads is around $38,000 to $45,000 for the first year of employment.
The program, honestly, it's a hand up, not a handout.
When I think about like the program and the impact it's having on Charlotte, I think it's amazing.
Charlotte is capable of this. Charlotte has an appetite to do this, and Charlotte can and should be a leader in what corporate responsibility actually looks like.
Taking the lead in training the next generation of tech and sales professionals. Not bad for a company that hasn't even been around for 20 years. For Carolina Impact, I'm Jason Terzis reporting.
Pretty impressive program. Thanks so much, Jason, for sharing it with us. For more information about Road to Hire, as well as other career pathways, head to pbscharlotte.org. Click on the Workforce Development tab under the Education Department. Well, what do you think the Super Bowl of equestrian competitions looks like? It's coming to the Charlotte region, and just 6 years ago, the location was a bankrupt golf course. Today, it's poised to bring 500,000 people to the Tar Heel State. Suzanne Stevens gives us a look around.
Who would have thought these nimble, four-legged creatures could make the majestic North Carolina mountains an even more spectacular place to visit? This is the brand new Tryon International Equestrian Center. 1,000 riders from 70 countries will bring 1,500 horses here to compete in the World Equestrian Games. It will put this area on the world map.
Indeed, this is a place that we felt could always host the World Equestrian Games. We had no idea the opportunity would come so quickly. The Games were scheduled for 2018. Spain and Bromont, Canada. Canadian government was not able to fulfill that bid, and so we had the opportunity late stage to bid and won it.
Sharon Decker is the center's chief operating officer.
The opportunity came for us to bid. We were well into construction, well into operation here, and we said, let's go for it.
The center is vast, the scenery is stunning, and the facilities are state-of-the-art. There's a Jumbotron, there are 13 rings, polo fields, a polo school, 7 barns, spectator pavilions, and scientifically high-tech footing tracks to pamper the horses. This is the only place in the world that can host all 8 equestrian sports disciplines at the same time.
Darling, just hold me.
Katie Abrahamson is an athlete from Kentucky with 5 horses. She competes here in elite shows. She spends 3 weeks here while she's showing and training. We caught up with her outside of the ring in one of the stalls she pays for in one of the barns. She says the center is the Disneyland of the horse world.
The stalls are gorgeous and they have the fans, and it's just that, you know, that southern mentality. Everyone's so nice, and I love it here. We rent a house just down the road, and it's in the mountains, so it's just a change of scenery.
Soon, everyone will see the same scenery. This is the vista NBC and the Olympics Channel will broadcast to the rest of the world during the Games.
So the Games will come and go, but this beautiful, huge, and expensive facility will still be here. What happens then?
The vision here is a year-round resort. So we will have close to 40 weeks of competition next year. So the Games for us is a tremendous opportunity to get on the international stage very early in the tenure of this resort. But it's one stop in the process.
This is, in fact, a horse-themed resort. There are 10 bars and restaurants, including a sushi place. You don't see that at many horse shows. There's a general store, an art gallery, boutiques for shopping. You can rent cottages. This is the foundation for a high-rise hotel. And everywhere you look, there are horsey details. The center sits just outside the tiny town of Tryon. This is an area built by textiles and furniture. But those days and those jobs are gone.
We have been a manufacturing economy, textiles and furniture. Now that is shifting more to hospitality and agribusiness, and we are trying to get people to understand the importance of that shift.
Walter Dalton is president of Isothermal Community College, which is nearby. He knows the horse industry is creating jobs, and people need to learn how to do them. That's why his school has started offering classes in barn management, elite grooming, horse nutrition, and horse anatomy. Kelly Coker has had a job in the horse field here for years as a trainer and coach for riders. His client base has exploded.
My business was Greenville, Spartanburg community, solely. A little bit from here and there, but mostly that area. Now this place is open, I have probably 50% of my income is from clients who bring their horses from elsewhere.
Riders just like Katie, who are spending a lot of money to be here.
We go to restaurants around here, we rent the house, grocery stores, coffee, anything, you know. That's
You're spending some money.
Yeah, so we're bringing in a lot of income, which is great for the people here.
One other thing that's great for the people here, virtually all of this is being built and run with private money. A group of investors who didn't ask for government subsidies to jumpstart this new equine economic engine.
It's projected the World Equestrian Games will bring about $400 million to the Carolinas. Suzanne Stevens joins me in the studio right now. Suzanne, thanks so much for bringing us this story. I had no idea this was going on so close to Charlotte.
Right. It's just about 90 miles down the highway, and it's actually going to impact Charlotte quite a bit economically. We're going to get a lot of that money. The horses, the riders, the spectators, most of them are flying into Charlotte Douglas. A lot of them are staying at hotels right here in Charlotte because there aren't that many up in the mountains. A lot of the construction contracts went to Charlotte companies, and some suppliers year-round are going to get the business. There was the sushi guy in my story. He gets all of his seafood from a supplier here in Charlotte. So we're getting a lot of money off of those games.
Now, is the center sustainable after the event is over? What happens then?
That's a good question, because you hear what happens like to World's Fair sites and things like that. It actually is. In the world of equestrian sports, there's a season, and I think it runs 40 weeks. So there will be horse shows at the center for 40 weeks out of the year. And then there's event space that people can rent, and they will be open 52 weeks out of the year. So there'll always be something going on. It's not just going to shrivel up after the games are gone.
And talk to us a little bit, this seems like an uncommon analogy, but what do horses and NASCAR have to do with each other?
Well, okay, they're sports, right?
Okay.
Let's see. I've heard they're positioning themselves. They want the equestrian sports and the center to do for Western North Carolina, for up in the mountains, what Bruton Smith and NASCAR has done for our part of the state. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense when you say it like that.
Economically, right.
Suzanne Stevens, thanks so much for taking us to Tryon so that we could see this beautiful event center.
Always my pleasure.
Let's move from the thrill of a live event to the thrill of curling up with a good book. I love reading, and I know many of you do too. PBS launched The Great American Read, where viewers across the country voted on the top 100 novels. Did your favorites make the list? Many of mine did. We decided to ask folks in Charlotte about their favorites. Carolina Impact's Suzette Ree has their story.
Good morning, sheep. Say moo, say moo.
If you go to the library during reading time, you'll see proof of what many already know. Charlotte loves to read, and we nurture that love of reading from an early age.
What's a dog say?
PBS launched The Great American Read as a national campaign to focus on books.
One of his favorite things in the book.
Across our region, there are countless book clubs like this one led by Charlotte's Margaret Martin. The love of books has turned this group into lifelong friends.
Oh, it's been great for me. It's probably been 15 years since I've been in this book club, and I've loved it. My best friends are here.
It's a testament to the power of compelling books.
There's nothing like a story, something that has a beginning and an end, a resolution to a problem. The characters are fleshed out.
These friends have perused the list from The Great American Read, and favorites are up for debate. The host feels very strongly about the values in the book Atlas Shrugged. Martin believes the life lessons are just as important as the story.
Atlas Shrugged, it's done to me. It's really made me a capitalist, and I really feel like everybody should have to read it.
Others here certainly have their favorites from the list too.
The young girl in the book has to go through the war in Germany, and she survives by reading books.
It was filled with everything that you can imagine from a child's perspective. And I just thought it was the most wonderful story.
We stepped out of the book club circles to ask leaders in our community about The Great American Read. For Charlotte's mayor, the list brought back memories.
When I was a kid, I read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, and I think that story really helped me. I was the only girl with 5 brothers, and reading gave me a chance to see a different way of a woman or a girl's perspective.
But you know, if there was any single book that...
President of the Foundation for the Carolinas, Michael Marsicano, recalls the book A Separate Peace.
I was really able to relate to that as a high school student, and it meant a lot to me to see myself and my age and my time in other people I was reading about.
Charlotte Chamber of Commerce President Bob Morgan is an avid reader of nonfiction usually, but he recalls this about reading one of the books on the list.
One of my favorite books on the list is The Da Vinci Code, and again, I'm not a big fiction guy, I'm not a big thriller type person, but I read the first page and couldn't wait to get to the next page, and it was like that for the next 24 hours. I literally took the next day off from work so that I've never read a book that quickly in my life.
For City Councilman Braxton Winston, books like Things Fall Apart and Their Eyes Were Watching God shaped his youth and helped form his strengths as a leader.
Because of the path I was on was the ability to kind of build bridges. There's always some ability to find common ground, and that's definitely from my experience reading books.
Theoden Janes writes the entertainment news for the Charlotte Observer.
Even as a writer, I'll look at a great book and I'll go, wow, amazing.
And what was his favorite from the list? Well, it's a book from childhood that stirred his imagination for years.
The Chronicles of Narnia was one that I remember reading when I was younger, and always thinking afterward, every time I would go to someone's house and there would be a big closet of some sort, there was always in the back of my mind this, well, maybe, you know, you never know.
Many agree finding time to read can be challenging. These leaders say they do and encourage others to escape with a good book.
To think that we human beings have the capacity to write the kind of books that we're talking about, that move us, that excite us, that we can be passionate about a book. What a gift these authors have.
Books sometimes take you on a magical ride, sometimes they help you solve problems, and sometimes they help you just learn life lessons.
With his feet up on a comfy sofa at Park Road Books, 10-year-old Riley Sherman finds the time to enjoy a book. At home, he's reading Harry Potter with his dad.
There's a lot of interesting stories in books, like some from the 1970s and some from this time.
So as a new generation of readers are learning to love books, it does make you wonder, what will the list be like for them? What will be their great American reads? For Carolina Impact, I'm Suzette Reed.
Thanks so much, Suzette. The Great American Read kicks off its 6-week series tomorrow night right here on PBS Charlotte, and you can help decide America's favorite book by voting on our website at pbscharlotte.org or at any of our region's libraries or Park Road Books. Now here's something for teachers who are always looking for good lesson plans. We've actually got lesson plans created around the Great American Read. PBS Learning Media is a great resource, and our new Education and Outreach Coordinator, Ivy DeShield, tells us a little more about it.
We have over 100,000 educational resources in our libraries. Absolutely amazing. We have everything from U.S. history collections, arts and language, culture, music. It's fun, safe, and innovative. And everything is actually grouped by age and subject. So they've taken a lot of time to give you a wonderful product. I really hope you join the PBS Learning Media community today.
You're going to see a lot more of Ivy throughout the region. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We always appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you back here again next time on Carolina Impact. Good night, my friends.
A production of PBS Charlotte.
American Graduate Getting to Work is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.